Today is the day of the by-election in Gorton and Denton. So if you're in that area, go out and vote. Even if it's for reform, I obviously don't want you to do that, but I think it's important that you go and you cast your vote based off your beliefs. It's a democratic right that we're afforded that I think people take for granted. Even if you go in and you don't want to vote for any of them, so you spoil your ballot, at least do that as a message. And so what I'm doing today is I'm just looking at a final sort of interview with the three main candidates. So that's the Greens, Labour and Reform. And we'll just see what they were saying yesterday on their final day of campaigning. Here we go.
So I think the choice here is between, to be quite honest, it's between hatred and division, and it's between someone who can bring hope, but ultimately who will work hard for her.
To 11 Tube.
Okay, great.
Should be a 10-minute bike ride of that.
Okay, great.
Through every door.
You don't
and then
need
there's
that.
address letters that go only to the houses they're addressed to.
I think we know that we have to earn people's trust, and that's something that you can't do overnight, and I've done that in my role as a councillor for the last 3 years. I've worked really hard with my community to show that I'm there to support them, and I think people do just appreciate being honest about what you can achieve as an MP. I think we see political parties make so many promises to people, and people aren't stupid. People just want somebody who's going to work hard.
Look at how nice the reform area is there. You can see where all the budget is. It's really nice. They're the ones with the big capital donors, so you'd expect it. But yeah, Hannah just touching on people in the area just want an honest working class person to represent them, and she's the only one that fits that criteria.
Well, I think the choice is very clear. They can either support a Labour Party that's talking about the Labour Party, they can support the Greens, who are really only talking about wanting to legalise all drugs in this constituency, like crack cocaine, heroin, and doubling down on teaching children about issues like transgender ideology, or they can vote for Reform UK, which is the only party, I think I'm the only candidate talking about Gorton and Denton and the issues that matter to the people of Gorton and Denton, which is lowering the cost of living, getting zero tolerance approach on antisocial behaviour and crime, fixing the borders, and putting local people first.
Again, he's just jumped to buzzwords. So he's like, he dismisses Labour basically because he knows he doesn't have to say much about Labour. They've done enough damage to themselves, really, where they're going to struggle to win this one. And then when he talks about the Greens, like you see on that poster there, it says, open borders, legalise all drugs, and trans people. Because they're the culture war buzz topics that they can go to and know that people are quite emotional about those topics and won't look at the data necessarily because they'll just be like, intuitively it feels wrong. And then on his, he's put stop illegal migration. I don't know how many illegal immigrants there are in Manchester. I wouldn't think there's very many. It's quite far to put them, but there's probably some because there's some in most cities. But again, it's a false issue. Don't get me wrong, immigration is an issue and it needs to come down, but it's not going to change people's lives if we see a decrease in immigration. If anything, it might cause us more economic strife in the short term as we look to try and replace those people. And then, cut energy bills by scrapping net zero is a crazy thing to try and say that will help because, one, you'll damage the environment more. Two, the more research and R&D that's put into renewable energies, the cheaper it's becoming and the more efficient it's becoming. So if you push further that way, you will cut people's energy bills anyway. Our entire energy system needs to change. It's done off an auction system where an area will decide how much energy they need, and then companies will say, we can do the energy for this price. and it keeps going until the amount of energy accumulated is the amount they need for the area, and then they charge people based off the highest price that is needed to fill that entire quota. It's just crazy. Such a weird way of doing it, and that needs to be changed. That will have much more of an impact than cutting net zero. And then put the people of Gorton and Denton first. What does that mean? He doesn't. Again, it doesn't mean anything. He just keeps repeating Gorton and Denton, Gorton and Denton. It's becoming a meme at this point. That if he did become the MP, he would just stand up in the Commons and just go, Gorton Denton, Gorton Denton, Gorton Denton, and sit back down. Because what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's crazy. But we'll see. It could still work. It's gonna be close. And we got until, I believe it's 10 p.m, 11 p.m. tonight, and then the result will come through early hours in the morning. But yeah, I think it is. The reason I've covered it so extensively is because I think it is actually a crucial by-election, and it's going to really shape how the nationwide polling and opinions are of the parties. Yeah, the result is everything. Even if it's by 100 votes, it will make a big difference. And then it moves to Labour. When does she start talking? Here we go.
Labour and reform. Standing together united, or the politics of shouting from the sidelines and division and offering no real solutions to real problems that exist in our community. And I've been talking about with residents today.
So that was a short part. They just talked about her, and yeah, Labour's only a line is that they're the only party that can stop reform. That's what they have to go off, because they don't have anything positive to say that they can do, because they've been in that constituency for decades and they've seen it deteriorate, partly because of Tory governments, obviously. They can't influence that, but Labour have been in numerous times as well, and yeah, we've still seen this deterioration. So that's all she can really say, is just, we're the tactical vote, that's it. So I don't think it's going to be enough for them. And I think that there's some street interviews in this. There we go.
This election is going to be reform, I'm afraid. In the past, I voted for the Conservatives, but they've just fallen apart completely. And reform are sort of the only people at the moment who are trying to offer a change.
Yeah, he's been completely duped by their media and their marketing. They have a lot of ex-Tories in the party, and we know that it will just be Thatcherite on steroids if they get in. So it will be exactly the same as the Tory party. It'll be the same as the Conservatives. So yeah, not much more to say on that.
Okay, well, I can tell you who I'm definitely not going to vote for, and that's Reform, because I am a strong, independent Muslim woman, and he would have me shipped off. I'm also Irish, so not very liked either. My husband is a black man, so really and truly, if they get in, we're in danger.
I'll be voting Green this time round. I am a former Labour member, but their stance on Palestine, privatisation, the Palantir contracts and the NHS, this whole Mandelson affair, and I don't think they can win round here anymore. I think Greens have got a better chance of beating Reform.
Yeah, some great points there. Obviously, the Mandelson affair is the most recent, but the Palantir contract, not enough people are talking about that. How dangerous that is, allowing them to have that much control. Yeah, it's crazy. That's the problem with privatisation. You end up losing more of your control as a country to private companies that can then dictate how your country is run, and there's not a lot you can do about it. So yeah, she's made some good points there, and like she said, people are just sick of Labour, sick of the right wing Labour clink that have taken over, got rid of Jeremy Corbyn, ousted him, and now trying to appease Reform voters and get them on side, whilst at the same time saying Reform are divisive. It's a difficult line to tread, and I don't think they're doing a very good job at it.
I'm going to vote for Labour I wasn't going to vote. I've always voted Labour, always, all my life, socialist, always done it. But this time, because I feel that Keir Starmer's thrown us under the bus with not letting Andy Burnham stand, I've made a decision that I won't vote Labour again, or I'll be thinking very carefully about it. But on this occasion, I've got to keep reform out. It's the only reason I'm voting Labour this time. I would have gone Green. But I just don't feel it's too much of a risk.
I vote for reform.
I think that's the only type of the constituency that I think will get support for Labour, is the ones that are too scared to go Green, because they don't think that they're going to be strong enough to oust reform. They think Labour's a better vehicle, but I mean, I disagree with her. I think Greens are already ahead in the polls, and if you're a true socialist, then you can't vote for Labour. And you should, in general, vote for the party you best believe in, not do a tactical vote. I've been guilty of that in the past. 2024, I wasn't massively infused by Labour, but I just wanted the Tories out, so I vote Labour. But now that we're in a more sort of 5-6 party system, whatever it ends up being, where the most popular party's got like 25-30% of the vote, and then everyone's in and around 5% behind, then you can select a party that's more in line with your views, and ultimately I think that's better for democracy.
I know a lot of people are going to do this. A lot of people never voted in their lives before. I've got mates who do it, but Labour have been here far too long, 30-40 years. Look around, nothing's happening at all. Reform, got good ideas. The main one, I'm no racist, but it's illegal immigrants. There's a lot of people over here, no jobs, everything, and the immigrants are getting.
My God, I'm a big believer in the stereotype of, if someone says, I'm not racist, but the next words that come out their mouth are guaranteed 100% of the time to be racist. And it's not his fault. Like you said, he genuinely believes illegal immigrants are the problem, and they're getting all these things that they're just not getting. They're not at all. I mean, they are getting housing in army barracks or hotels or things like that whilst their asylum claims are being reviewed. And they're like, yeah, homeless people and veterans should be in this. And I completely agree. Yes, we should house them as well. There should be nobody living on the streets. But their reasoning is that they think that they're sort of being treated above the native citizens, and that's not the case at all. It's basic UN laws. That means if they come here and apply for asylum, we must keep them safe until that claim has been accepted or rejected. The problem is the claim takes too long to process. It takes over a year, so we end up with these people that are just sort of in no man's land for a long, long time, and that's what needs improving. And if you created more legal routes for people that could potentially get their asylum claims looked at then in other countries, then it will speed the process up. And yeah, that's it really for this video. So if you have the ability to vote today, go out and vote, and I'll do another video tonight when we've got the results in. Come on, you Greens.